This episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. Week 1 of the NFL season is here, and a new season means new ways to get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL.
And if you're ready to place your first bet, try betting on something simple like picking a player to score a touchdown.
So score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the best place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code RAW. That's code RAW for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus premium on us. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in New Hampshire, Oregon, and Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus premium terms at nfl.com/terms. Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Now, Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, the last Smackdown on Fox, on the Fox Network era. It's heading to USA Network next week. We've got the rundown on that and the big match that's coming up next week on the debut episode, the return of Smackdown on USA Network after 5 years of being on Fox. So we're going to talk about that. Of course, tomorrow is All Out, so hopefully you guys will join us for a live review, or live watch along, I should say, followed by the review right here at youtube.com/Steven Larson. And then, of course, over on the Twitch, twitch.tv/Steven Larson, if that's your preferred platform for watching live streamed content. But first, before we dive into the Smackdown review, Larson, let's talk about MVP. He had a lot to say about how the whole Hurt Business disillusion, I guess, went down.
Yeah,
with an
reunion
interview.
and then no reunion, essentially. Yes.
Yeah.
So he appeared on a recent K&S WrestleFest virtual signing and spoke quite extensively about the Hurt Business reunion that was supposed to happen early 2023. All the transcripts that we're about to read all come from Fightful. That's what he had to say. We were told we were going to be reunited. I still have the shirts. The shirts were made. Hurt Business on the front, Back in Business on the back. They were made. We were told that it was going to happen. Next thing I see, Bobby is with the Street Profits. What happened here? I get a call from Bruce Pritchard. Somebody should have called you. Sorry, we decided we're going in a different direction. What the fuck is that? That's not professional. That's how it went down. I'm a professional. I show up, I go to work, and I do what I'm told. In the pro wrestling business, once you get to a certain level, you do have input into what you do. It's one thing when you're told, we're going to do this, and steps have been made, and there's a pivot without a conversation. That's not good business. I don't care what anybody thinks. That's not how you do business. Needless to say, I was very salty about that. We had Bobby going from a 2-time WWE champion not being in the conversation or the title picture at all. Got put with the Street Profits, who were white hot, and they got cooled off. The Street Profits went from being major figures to sitting in catering. I don't know why. I don't understand it, but I don't make decisions in that way. The Hurt Business is dead, and it was killed off by the powers that be. Myself, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin are talking amongst ourselves about what we want to do going forward. Stay tuned.
We'll pause there. There's more MVP comments about Triple H as well. I mean, look, that's got to suck. That's got to suck. He's got every right and every reason to be, bitter about this, upset about it, whatever you want to call it, because that sucks, man. It seems to be that, like, when you would think when a regime change would happen, I mean, hell, we kind of saw a little bit of that to a degree when we back in the good old days when we worked in Machinima, one group is there and then another group takes over and it's like, okay, where do we fit into this equation?
Absolutely.
And who's the last to know? The people who are out here on Sacramento Island. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
So, like, we've been through that, but in pro wrestling, it probably stings even more because, like MVP said, this dude's been around for a long time. And it did seem like under Vince, MVP had some input, There was, I know there was all sorts of word about him being involved in the creative process behind the scenes. Hurt Business, they were a big deal. Vince seemed to really like them. Didn't really quite know how to use them to their fullest potential. Bobby Lashley getting those big reactions, it is still surprising to me they couldn't figure out what to do with them. One of the positive takeaways from this talk, though, is that seemingly there's been communication between Shelton, Bobby, and MVP about the possibility moving forward. Hopefully we get to see that at some point within some promotion. I think any promotion would be, better off with the Hurt Business or whatever they would be referred to as.
Yeah, obviously. And if you go back to, I think it was late summer 2023 when they put Lashley with the Street Profits. And Bobby just making his entrance was getting these tremendous reactions from the crowd. They tried their damnedest to try to make them heels, but the crowd's like, no. We love Bobby Lashley. We love the Street Profits. And it seemed like the creative team didn't know how to adapt, how to take the essence of what they wanted to do with heel Lashley and heel Street Profits, but pivot to make them baby faces. And so they just kind of languished. There was weeks where it was like, are they even a faction? There was times where it seemed like Lashley was just, I don't want anything to do with the Street Profits. Only for the next week to be like, yeah, all right, hopefully you've learned. And it wasn't in a way where it felt like the ebb and flow of a story. It felt like indecision. Not so much on Bobby's part, on Creative's part, about what are we going to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes they had a faction name. Sometimes they didn't. I don't know if they ever actually officially announced a name for them as a faction.
I think they might have used the Pride like once in a lower third.
But it wasn't like,
no, it was never like right.
Yeah, there wasn't a reveal for the faction name, is the point. So it seems like once they had to pivot from booking them as a heel faction, they had no clue what to do at that point. None.
Yeah.
Zero. And they just kind of languish, and it's a bummer because you look at the reactions Street Profits get with the last couple months, or lack thereof. They used to get insane reactions when they made their entrance. Now it's just like, yeah, there's some noise, but nowhere near the same degree that it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
it's because they haven't been involved in anything interesting in basically a couple of years.
And even though they were in the main event tonight, I don't see anything in the future for the Street Profits or DIY. I don't, because the Bloodline has the tag titles.
They just got single-handedly decimated by Jacob Fatu tonight, both those teams.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. So it's disappointing. Bobby added, in my opinion, is still, and what's wild too is that I saw some comparison last time we had this conversation about there was more Bobby could do. There was some conversation that, out of respect for the conversation, I think it's a topic that I don't think is so out of pocket that we wouldn't be able to discuss it. But people comparing Bobby Lashley to, for example, Edge. Oh, this guy's done everything. Here's the thing. Edge was not getting the reactions by the end. You hear a pin drop during those last couple Judgment Day promos. And the Edge stuff that was good towards the end was when the Judgment Day turned on him and they concertoed his wife. I mean, that's going to get a reaction because that's just good creative.
Yeah.
But Edge had also literally done everything.
I think if you take out the hardcore title and 24/7 championship, Edge is the most decorated wrestler in terms of overall championships in WWE history. He has literally done everything. He has won everything in WWE.
Bobby has, granted, won a lot.
Yeah.
Been world champion. We get that. But there was no transitionary time between him having that title and him remaining in the main event scene for a period of time. They never did a proper Roman Bobby thing. Bobby would have been perfect for a Cody Rhodes feud. There was still stuff for him to do. There was still very much relevance for Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Business in the WWE, or Bobby Lashley. Dude, you saw how hyped people got when Bobby Lashley approached the Street Profits, even taking the Hurt Business out of it. When Bobby Lashley approached the Street Profits and he was like, hey, dress better. And they were doing this thing where it's like, okay, so he's going to sort of make them his faction now. And the people were into it. That still boggles my mind, because I think my bottom line on that one is unlike with Edge, there was still plenty left for Bobby Lashley to do. And the crowd reactions, he's one of those dudes who, he's done a lot, but the crowd always wanted, especially the last couple of years, they always wanted more for him because it was like, dude, you've put in the work. We know you're legit, but you were never given the Brock treatment. You were never given that Brock treatment. Even when he had the thing with Brock, it was like caveats, it was he could never just straight up beat Brock one-on-one. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he ever had that definitive thing.
No. I don't believe he did either. I know, and it's interesting to say or to think that someone as decorated as Bobby Lashley, multiple-time world champion, has won the mid-card titles throughout his 10 years in WWE, where you still feel like there's so much more he could do at that point in his career, because he's in his mid-40s. He's been wrestling for 20-plus years.
He brought Goldberg to a good match.
He did.
Get out of here.
He did.
Yeah, man.
And I think that's one of the reasons that fans wanted to see him involved and do interesting things, because, like, there's still so much more Lashley could do at a high level.
Yeah.
At the main event level. And to not see it happen was really disappointing. And I don't get why, whether it was the pivot they had to make and how they were booking Lashley to Street Profits, or the pivot they made and not getting the Hurt Business back together. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Because it seems like in both cases, there's massive amounts of money they left on the table. You have the creative right for either Hurt Business reunion or Street Profits and Lashley. Those groups can make you lots of money.
Remember those cool Hurt Business shirts? Didn't they have like gold on them?
Great. Yeah, they were like the gold foil print on them.
It was like gold foil print, right?
That was amazing.
If they didn't, they should have. That might be a Mandela effect. I don't know.
No, it was gold.
Wasn't it? It was like, it was a gold print.
Yeah, it was gold. Yeah.
That was some good stuff. I mean, maybe, look, this might be a conversation we're going to have one day. We had the same conversation with AEW. Humble85 here in our YouTube chat says no one wants to discuss the booking of black males in the WWE. I've seen plenty of that conversation on Twitter, and that's a conversation that we're all going to have to start having. And I know it makes some people uncomfortable, but, and I'm looking, it's so funny because I was like, while you were talking, I went to WWE's homepage. And it's like, you look at the Raw graphic on the show's thing, right?
Yeah.
No black men there. SmackDown graphic, no black men there. NXT, you got Oba, you got Trick. So Triple H is going to have a lot of culture, a lot of color coming into the main roster within a couple of years. So, you got, if there is an issue there, he's got to figure it out, Yeah. So yeah.
Well, that kind of dovetails with what MVP also said, because a few months ago he was responding to social media comments that were highly critical of Triple H in that respect. And he was asked about that on this. What is this? K&S WrestleFest virtual signing.
Yeah, what is that? Can we get in on that?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. This is what he had to say. Again, these transcripts come to you from Fightful. Quote, "It made the rounds that MVP said Triple H was racist. I never said that word. I never said that. You show me the quote or the caption where I said that. Somebody made a comment on my social media about how he books black talent. I just said, you see it. I never said he was racist. I never said that. That was never anything I said. I want to make that very clear. If you're watching, you get that soundbite here first. I'll go more into it in my podcast. I didn't say that. Now, my opinion on how he books talent of color, that's a different conversation. But I never said the man was racist. Hulk Hogan is racist. He said it himself. I'm a little bit racist. He said that. As far as Triple H, I don't know that he is. I don't know what his motivations are, but I never said he was racist."
People go to that word so quick. They went to that word when we were talking about that, about Tony Khan, about, man, there's a lot of white wrestlers on your show, and there's not a lot of black wrestlers on your show. That situation has improved over in AEW to a degree. Nobody is saying anybody's racist. It's who's in the room making decisions and what kind of representation are we getting on the screen that's going to benefit your business. You see it a lot in NXT. Not a shock that NXT's got a lot of buzz these days.
Yeah.
Because you're bringing in a whole lot of people, a whole lot of different people, appreciating your show now. A whole lot of different points of view behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, like HBK seems to understand that. And I think that there needs to be a similar philosophy when it comes to main roster. That's my own personal opinion. Nobody's calling anybody racist. It's okay. You don't have to throw, that's a heavy word. That is a heavy word. But when you see a trend, when you see something happening, I think it's totally appropriate to point out and say, okay, so why is this the situation right here?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
So anyways.
Absolutely. You know, we had that conversation you mentioned with AEW's booking, and we've seen some strides to address that. Can it still be better? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, MVP brought up the issues as he saw them, as he experienced them perhaps backstage.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's definitely an issue that needs to be addressed on WWE main roster as well. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, it's my birthday and that's my TED Talk. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it.
Happy birthday, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
What did you do today?
What did I do today? I don't know. Same thing I do every day, man. You know,
Worked.
Every day's my birthday, Larson. Come on, look at this.
You sat on the couch and watched some Deep Space Nine.
Listen, man, we get to sit here and talk about wrestling. Every day is my birthday, you know? Now we're doing like a family thing on Sunday because like, I got to work today, got to work tomorrow for All Out. So on Sunday, we're going to have the pizza and the cake.
Oh, there
I had Lacey brought, although Lacey still got like a little cake for me here in Bama today. But yeah.
Marble cake?
I don't know if it's going to be marble cake.
Frozen whipped topping?
Here's the thing. When at my age, I got a kid in the house. So whatever birthday cake she wants is the birthday cake I'm going to get.
Has she had marble cake before?
I don't know, probably. Look, man, to me, like chocolate cake is just as good as marble cake.
Blasphemy.
Not at all. Isn't marble cake just like a bunch of chocolate and
yellow cake? Yeah.
Yellow flavor?
Whatever yellow cake flavor is, I don't know what it is.
Balances it out?
I guess. Yeah, maybe. It makes the chocolate a little less chocolate.
You think so? Are you Triple H over there? What's going on? It's a joke. It's a joke. It's all a come on. It's a joke. Come on. It's for the friend. It's a joke.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Happy birthday to me. Hey, we're gonna talk about SmackDown in just a second here. Let's go and pay some bills. I got to run through this ad now, real quick, Larson. I got to do the disclosures. All right, let's go.
Here we go. Let's take a break here. Get a word from our sponsor of today's show, DraftKings Sportsbook. Week 1 of the NFL season is here. Game last night, game tonight, and a new season means I'm starting to practice Philadelphia Eagles fight song. They're winning. Well, I don't know if they're winning right now. They were winning. They're playing right now. I've been practicing their fight song anticipation of week 1. They've scored a couple touchdowns. I think 3 already. That means I got 3 fight songs to sing. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Don't even sing one.
On the road to victory.
You got to be careful celebrating before the win is in, my friend.
I'm not celebrating. That's what they play at Lincoln Financial Field every time the Eagles score a touchdown.
All right, man. Well, listen, a new season also means new ways to get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. And hey, if you're looking to place your first bet, you can bet on something as simple as picking a player to score a touchdown.
Speaking of touchdowns, I can confirm the Eagles have scored 3 touchdowns. Not only will I sing Fly, Eagles, Fly 3 times, but do my new touchdown dance. Are you ready for it?
Is it like the Ilya thing?
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
On the road to victory. Oh, you like that? Good. So you do my touchdown dance while I check the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now to see if your beloved New England Patriots are favorites going into their game against Cincinnati this week. I can confirm they are underdogs, Steve, unlike my Eagles, who were favored heading into their game tonight. So guess what? Fly, Eagles, fly.
So score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the best place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code RAW. That's code RAW for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium on us. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Here we go. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsible on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in New Hampshire, Oregon, Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus premium terms at NFL.com/terms. Better and better every time, man. Better and better.
Yeah.
I'm getting it.
You're doing great. You're doing well.
Oh, my goodness. Anyways, so yeah, Smackdown, the last Smackdown on Fox, man.
Yeah, they really made a point of hammering that home. Last Smackdown on Fox. There was that whole video package that they had, which had 2 shots of 2019 to 2023, and the rest of it was like the last year and a half.
That was the most tepid memory trip down memory lane. What I was trying to think. Okay, so there was like a year or so of Thunderdome. There was a chunk
there was
of that
about
was in the PC.
5 months of
PC
pre-pandemic.
Okay, yeah.
And then in March of 2020, it was, there was the PC
until what, like mid 2021?
Summer of 2020. It was the summer of 2020. I think they did Thunderdome.
They did. Okay, yeah. So the PC from March to June, and then for the next year, it was like Thunderdome. I think it was like mid 2021
before they started doing
before they brought crowds
shows.
Back. Yeah. So like that was a big chunk of time. You can't.
Well, it was that summer. It was that WrestleMania, the second one in Tampa. They did after the PC one. It was like half capacity they had because
but they went back to Thunderdome.
They did. I'm just
like July, I think. Yeah,
it was July. I think it was Money in the Bank that year that they had the first.
So then you're what, mid 2021 to So I don't know what was going. Was there a bunch of AEW people there or something? Why didn't they show anything from then?
Well, I think what they did is just picked a couple moments from before Triple H was in charge, and then fill the rest of it when Triple H was in charge.
Yeah. No Brock, of course. No Brock. No. They showed the sequence like in the first episodes with the Rock, Becky Lynch, and Baron Corbin. Yeah. They're all still friendly with the company. One of them is the director of the board.
Well, he's on the board. He's not the director of the board.
He says he's the director of the board. I'm not going to throw your L's up. There you go. Wow, dismissive L right there, Larson. Anyways, so yeah, we had one tepid flashback sequence, but also other stuff happened. Mainly, Giovanni Vinci made his huge debut, and it was a number one. What is with that ref ringing the bell when this fool isn't even in his ring attire?
So he had his back turned to Apollo Crews, his opponent.
Yeah.
Taking off his jacket, and the ref rings the bell. What's the deal with that? I think it's because the ref was trying to get him to start, and Giovanni's like, no, hold on, so he could do his pose.
Yeah.
I think that irked the ref, and so he took it out on Giovanni.
Unprofessional ref, right?
You know what would have been great, though? If they brought the freeze frames from NXT to main roster for Giovanni, and as Cruz is hitting him with that crucifix pin, do a freeze frame of him about to get rolled up. No freeze frames for Giovanni Vinci. Massive disappointment.
Yeah, that's a big L. That's a big disappointment right there. I'm not huge on that. They need to bring back the freeze frames, and I love your idea. I think they did that once in NXT. It was hilarious. It was the best thing. Yeah. Like somebody did a suicide dive or something on the guy. Wasn't it like Nathan Frazier? I don't know, something like that. In any event, he took a quick loss. According to WrestleVotes, I don't have it literally in front of me, but they said there are key figures. This is a scoop from WrestleVotes. Key figures, because sometimes WrestleVotes, they'll give you basically press releases from WWE. Hey, there's a new Saturday Night Main Event coming on NBC. But this was a scoop. Some key figures within WWE creative not happy with the lack of Vittoria, with the angle that they ran tonight. What would you have preferred? A 7-minute victory over Apollo Crews? Or what we saw tonight with Apollo Crews getting that win, even if it was in cheap fashion?
So you'd like to hope that Vinci losing in about 4 seconds tonight is going to lead to something. There's a story here. That's what you'd like to hope. And if that's the case, although it's weird, you run these video packages of him, Vinci, going back to his old NXT character, basically, only to bring him back to the main roster as that character and do a story about how that character's not working for him. And so he has to change. So that's an odd move. And it's assuming people watch NXT as of like 2 years ago that are anyway familiar with that character.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Because a couple of video packages and 1 4-second match ain't enough for people unfamiliar with the gimmick to really feel one way or another about it.
To a degree, it felt a bit, and I know the Dan Matha thing was totally different because it was a gimmick where Samoa Joe couldn't be held back. He couldn't be controlled.
Told Regal to get better security.
Yeah, right. So that was not a Dan Matha story. That was a Samoa Joe story. But I look, it was memorable. It got people talking, and it felt like a Vince thing. But the key difference is we know that Triple H likes to book out ahead of time. And if he's doing this now, you got to give him a bit of the benefit of the doubt that this is going to lead to something. It's so funny how, like, Giovanni Vinci, as this version of himself, really does have, like, a much larger aura and this is not surprising, but, like, when he's with Gunther, when he's in Imperium, the dude just really felt like a henchman. Like, he had the aura of a henchman because that's essentially what he was. And
he also lost all the time.
And he lost all the time, absolutely. But he is, I mean, he's got the presence of the character that he's portraying now.
Yeah.
He
and
has
he's a phenomenal
that.
wrestler.
And he's a phenomenal wrestler. He's got a great look, a great wrestler. So, yeah, man, I hope that there's going to be more for him. I don't know what key creative figures, probably, I don't know who would have been if there's a plan from the top down for this guy, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. Let's go back to let's talk the last SmackDown on Fox, because I think it's a good opportunity, not just for WWE to reminisce, but for us to reminisce about the good, about the bad that happened on SmackDown during its tenure on Fox. Let's start with the bad. I know you have some threads up, getting some friendo input into this. Two most obvious worst moments SmackDown on Fox, obviously, was when Brock beat Kofi for the title in 8 seconds.
Yeah.
That was terrible. And also all those times when Baron was pouring all the dog food all over Roman Reigns.
That nearly drove Roman Reigns away from wrestling.
Yep.
That was close. He was like, you let me sort of do something here, or I'm not going to go through this stuff again. That's a good one. Yeah, the dog food is definitely a good one. Yeah, I posted up a thread here on the Friendo Club Wrestling thing. We've got a couple moments here. So the top moments, it seems like, the ones that are most memorable, because I just said, what are the most memorable ones?
Yeah.
A lot of Bloodline stuff.
Oh, obviously. Yeah, that's the highlight of maybe pro wrestling storytelling ever. So
Joe Weezy says, man, I don't give a damn what the tribal chiefs say.
That was good. And
that is such an interesting one, because I was thinking about this when Solo and Jacob Fatu had their little face-off. There's such, in my mind, watching it, such a lack of actual drama and tension in that moment that we used to get if it was the same situation with the old Bloodline. And I think that's one huge difference in why SmackDown has just sort of felt lately.
There's not a whole lot of tension or drama across the board, but certainly not in the Bloodline storyline. Yeah.
And we'll definitely dive deeper into that as we talk about what happened on SmackDown tonight. Another one, Zyshawn says, Sami Zayn being tricked into believing he was being kicked out of the Bloodline. Jey Uso tearing off his Bloodline shirt. Roman giving him the honorary Uso shirt. Sami's reaction and Jay's reaction.
Oh, that might have been tops for me. That whole segment was so good.
Here's a low. Bucket Dipper says the debut of Retribution.
Ooh,
Who could forget all those, like, really short people, for whatever reason, coming out and, like,
It was whoever they had around that could fill those roles at that moment.
Yeah. This is what I thought of. Nick says the first pandemic episode in the Performance Center when Triple H was on commentary. He grabbed the camera. He was like, "Oh, this will be fun. We'll do this for a week, and then we'll probably pack this place with more people." And then it was 5 months.
It was several months before.
But that was in there. That was really fun. But then, of course, they have to ruin it because the next week, Triple H wasn't allowed to have fun anymore. They just try to call it like it's a straight up wrestling program.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think Triple H did commentary the week after, did he?
I don't think he did. No. No. Let's see here. Yeah, a couple people, of course, bringing up the Kofi title loss. What is this? Walavois says that crane camera shot they only used for like half a year at the beginning to set it apart from Raw.
When the hard cam or the A camera on the crane.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Hey, Steve, the Eagles scored. Do you know what that means?
All right, man. It doesn't need to.
I'll sing it to myself.
You look like a crazy person, You look like Braun when he was reciting his own lines. You know what stands out to me? What I remember
that was on
most
Raw,
fondly. You know what I remember most fondly? Yeah,
what?
It was. It was. The SmackDown Raw Gate.
Yeah.
I missed that. We only got that for like a couple months because of the stupid pandemic.
About 5 months, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why they just didn't bring back the Raw Gate. It was so cool.
I know it was cool.
I don't
missed
like
opportunity. I don't miss AC/DC as the show's theme, though. I don't miss that.
I would rather have something I hate than something that just bores me. The one that is on now just bores the living shit out of me. I'd rather have that horrible AC/DC with the opening intro that looked like it was a Nickelodeon show.
It did.
It looked like all that, season 28 or whatever it would be.
Yeah.
Hayden says, of course, the context of the Kofi Brock thing is always hilarious. Kofi losing in 9 seconds to Brock so he can stare down Cain Velasquez killed my love of pro wrestling for Cain Velasquez.
And they had a 5-minute match at the next pay-per-view, and Cain was never to be seen again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, boy. Legend of Q says The Rock beating the brakes off Cody. I think that actually happened on Raw, didn't it?
Yeah, that happened on Raw.
Let's see.
Yeah, Cody
here.
was on Raw then. Yeah.
This is another big one. In late 2019, Heel Harrison says Triple H having NXT invade SmackDown.
Yes.
Because most of the talent was stuck in. That was an all-timer. That was a great SmackDown.
That was a really good episode, yeah.
That was. The Wallnator says blank screens. There was one tonight. I think there might have been
tonight.
Oh, was there? I noticed the one during the Tiffany match.
There was
I was like,
during
there's probably a wardrobe malfunction or something.
There was a lot of muting and a lot of blank screens.
Yeah, man. So there you go. There's let's see. Are there any in chat here? Because I know we're just talking about this stuff here.
Jack Bauer says, "Remember karaoke SmackDown."
Karaoke SmackDown? What?
That sounds vaguely familiar.
What was that?
Trying to think of other quality moments. Not related to the Bloodline.
Let's see here. Amethyst Pisces says Roman's missionary position promo while feuding with Cena.
Oh.
That was a good one. Cena showing up and just saying that I can beat you with a roll-up.
Yeah. That was the whole thing.
That feud should have been so much more big. It should have been much bigger.
I know.
It should have been so much bigger.
Dangam Q says LA Knight swallows his gum. Not swallows. He almost inhaled it. Like
that shit was almost in his lungs.
Like the piece of quinoa that tried to get sucked down to my lungs when I was eating my salad for dinner.
Jared
and I had the same response.
Yeah, but you weren't cutting a promo in front of 15,000.
No, I wasn't.
Jared Dyer here says Roman burying Seth Rollins. Exactly. No pop.
Oh, the contract signing with Roman and Drew.
Oh, that was good.
That was so good.
That was good.
That was so good.
Calvin Houston says the Sonya Deville Mandy Rose feud during the pandemic era. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm just trying to do this. I remember the mocking video package for Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin match that made fun of both of them.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Left Lock mentions LA Knight being reborn from Max Dupree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that felt good. That felt really good.
That did feel good. Speaking of LA Knight, Aussie here says LA Knight walking past Roman on the ramp.
That was awesome.
That was great.
I like that.
When Cody and Jay won the tag titles and then met up with Roman and Jimmy.
Oh, that was
a
cool moment.
Like 6 months before WrestleMania 40.
Jared here brings up Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan. Yeah, that was in that SmackDown. Yeah, that was so good.
Oh, Curious Corduroy says Viscous Jeff Hardy P.
Yes, that's right.
Was that during the Fox era?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was. All right.
That might have been. That was Thunderdome, I think. I'm almost positive.
Maybe,
that was
yeah. That makes sense because they had the pub match, which was just them fighting at the pub.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not so much a match.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. We got before we get on to the recap here, we got a couple super chats and a bunch of gifts here. Jeffrey Nguyen here gifted 5 memberships to the community. Thank you very much, Jeffrey Nguyen, the Hall of Famer.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Steve Kuharski with a super chat says an official petition for botch content called I Find It Funny, just so we can hear Steve's Triple H impressions. So like we'd put together botch clips and Triple H would do commentary on them. That sounds like a recipe for copyright infringement. And two, I mean, we'd have to Triple H. I don't know if Triple H would be down with that.
No, I don't think he'd want to celebrate the botches and that would happen inside his own company.
Yeah, man. Jeffrey Nguyen here says, happy birthday, Steve. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Maggie, I don't know if you had anything to add to that. Maggie says,
I told you happy birthday at least 5 times.
Yeah, I don't know what I expected from that one. It's just usually I just read these things and I look at you, so that's what I did. Maggie, the super chat says, fumbling Hurt Business is a big L on Triple H's part.
Yeah,
I agree.
massive.
1,000%. Luis here with the super chat says, me and my wife have been obsessed with Creed because of the Summer of '99 tour. I was today years old. All band members minus the singer formed Alter Bridge. Yeah, that was Creed. Yeah. Cameron Shank here says, happy birthday, Steve. Okay. All right. Still nothing. Cameron Shank with the super chat.
How many times do you want me to tell you happy birthday?
I don't know. It's what I'm used to doing.
I think I'm on 5 right now.
Cameron Shanks has got my second tattoo today. Heard Dem Bones during the tattoo.
Oh,
reminded me of Steve. That'd be a great theme song, but it's a very sudden song. It starts with like
but
a
that's
scream.
what you want. That's what you always talk about for theme songs.
Yeah, it's like glass breaking. People be like, "Oh my god!"
That's even more intense because it starts off with Lane Staley.
Yeah, that's great.
That huge guitar riff. Yeah.
Ah!
Dun 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 dun.
I bleed Dem
Them
Bones.
bones are me.
Great name for a finishing move too.
Yeah.
Dem Bones.
Them bones.
Maggie also super chat says, celebrate Steve's birthday. Get Friendo Shop merch at friendoshop.com. You can use promo code Friendo2024. You get one of these Friendo U shirts over here. 20% off. Friendo Club hat. Look at me. What a mark for my own stuff.
Yeah, head to toe. Your own merch.
Toe, baby. Absolutely. Let's see here. Maggie says, also with the super chat, Vinci dethroned Gunther. The movement starts now. He's got a long way to go.
Got a little ways to go.
Long way to go. But I'm down. Let's see here. Thank you, Khalid, for the super chat. And Mike Robb here became a Channel Club member. Channel Club memberships, they come with access to our bonus episodes, question threads, and, of course, the Big Blue Predictions Challenge. We've got one last pay-per-view on this Big Blue Predictions Challenge. It's still anybody's game for the most part. Going into All Out tomorrow. So if you want in on the Big Blue Predictions Challenge, it's too late to win Big Blue for this one. But if you want to make a statement, if you want to put the rest of the friendos on notice, what better way to do it than by making a statement during tomorrow's Big Blue Predictions Challenge? And then you'll be eligible for the next one as well. You can win a hat. Very nice hat.
I want to win one of those hats one of these days.
I know,
They look like nice hats.
Hey, that is nice. I've seen them. I have not put one on yet. I have a boss one around here.
The only 2 things I've won, I won an Advantage thing, and I won G1 last year. I haven't actually won the Predictions Challenge to earn a hat.
You see, this is what I get for my birthday. This asshole back here barking.
Yeah, just barking.
Yeah.
Bark.
So irritating. Anyways, do you want to finally talk about this?
Let's
this
talk about
SmackDown
this. So, at the beginning of the show, Cody came out, called out Bloodline, which brought out Bloodline.
here? Yes.
Solo was like, "Hey, Roman cost me my title match. I deserve another one." Cody, instead of saying, "Yes, you're right," he says, "Jacob fought too.
The real tribal
You
chief.
get the title match. Driving a wedge." Finally, some tension. Took long enough for tension to arise amongst the Bloodline, even if just briefly, because Jacob gets on the apron, hesitates, says, "I love you, Solo."
I love you, Solo.
Drops off the apron. And then Cody's like, "All right, fine, I'll give it to you, Solo." So it's happening next week on season premiere of SmackDown, first SmackDown on USA Network. And it's going to be in a steel cage to keep out interference. Like that, that works ever.
No.
It never works. None of the times. Never works. So,
Are we gonna get a Cody moonsault off the cage?
no, he said he wasn't going to do that again.
Yeah, and who said that they learned how to lie from Cody Rhodes?
I know Bryan Danielson did.
Bryan Danielson, that's correct. 2 points.
But I believe Roman is advertised for SmackDown next week, which would make sense. They want stuff to happen on this premiere. So are we going to have a repeat of what happened at SummerSlam? Except this time Roman's going to bust into the cage and cost Solo the match?
He might raise the ire of Cody Rhodes if he does that too. Setting up something actually interesting. Look, I get the idea of Solo being a pretender. I get that. But goddamn, he seemed extra doofy tonight. When he went in there, it took him forever. What?
Doofy?
Like a doofus.
No, I get
Yeah.
that. I've just never heard doofy before.
Probably just made it up, to be honest
I
with you.
believe you did.
Yeah.
Doofusy.
I don't like that.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Goofy.
There you go.
Well, the thing Goofy's not even what I'm going for, but he came off more like a doofus.
Yeah, he did
you
come
know?
off like a doofus. I get what you're saying.
I see what you're doing. Yeah, everybody can see what he's doing. You're trying to drive a wedge between us. Yeah, we know. Clearly, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
He just
It
seemed
didn't
like
need to be
slower
it
tonight.
didn't need to be the text.
Yeah, you're right. He seemed just slower tonight. I don't know. Just like,
Maybe he's more deliberate. Make sure he hits his beats, for
and he
his
sort of
promos and
hunches
stuff.
over a little, like his posture's bad. And
Yeah.
again, like if you're the Penguin, that works. But the thing about the Penguin is, the Batman villain, he's got like tons of confidence. Solo doesn't even come off like he's got confidence. Like he looked at Jacob and I'm like, what is that look supposed to be? And then Jacob starts, I love you, Solo. But why do you love him? Why
Because
do
he's
you
a
love
tribal
him?
chief. That's why.
So I don't know. Dude, we talked about this a little bit before. That segment itself, man, there just wasn't that same tension they used to get with Roman.
They tried at least. It was an attempt, which they haven't been doing for months.
That's true. And I honestly think the thing that we have been talking about, we need more stuff with the Bloodline.
Character stuff. Character stuff.
The recipe is more Bloodline, baby. You get them backstage and you have them interact. Let's see them. Let's see why. I still want to know why the fuck Jacob Fatu is respecting Solo as the tribal chief. I get it. He's got the Ulafala. What? He's been there longer? Is he paying him a
Solo
bonus
got
to
him
be around?
a good job with the good paycheck at World Wrestling Entertainment, Steve. That's why.
Dude, honestly, if we see them backstage and we understand the dynamic and what brought Solo to bring them, what is the pre-existing relationship? We knew that with Roman and the Usos, they're cousins. We get that. What brought Solo to bring Jacob Fatu and Tamatanga and Tongaloa? Like, what's in it for them necessarily? Why are they falling in line as opposed to just being like WWE?
Because they
superstars?
got good jobs at WWE now.
I know, dude, but I'm saying I want to see it play out on TV. That kind of dynamic, I think, would lead to the kind of tension that we're talking about.
No, that's the thing that really stood out with the original Bloodline story stuff was that we got to see the interpersonal dynamics between everybody involved and the tensions that would arise from it. We even got that with this new Bloodline, kind of at all. And if you want to add some dimension to these characters, you kind of have to do that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised that they haven't even attempted to do anything like that for weeks. You know, there was a couple times where they had the backstage segments, that one where Tama Tonga was doing that kind of stuff.
Dude, even if Solo, if we had some sort of like, intro to the show prior to like, the intro to the show, where they're backstage and Solo says something like, hey, you know what? We're going to confront Cody tonight. He might try to drive a wedge. Don't let him. Don't take the bait. Something like that,
Or even not even be that explicit about drive a wedge. Say, he might try to, be the politician tonight or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't fall for stuff.
Give us something like that, where then Jacob violates that thing that Solo had brought up. You need those kind of character moments for what happened tonight to have the kind of tension where, like when Jay says, I don't give a damn what the tribal chief says. Roman wasn't even there. And everybody's like, oh my God, what are you doing? Why would you say that? That's terrifying. The man's not even there. And you want that kind of stuff. Even if Solo is the pretender to the throne, he's got to have something on them. He can't just be a doofus and act doofy.
So who said this? I think Mr. Sinister said there is a character in one of the Goofy movies. His name's Doofy.
Does he act like Solo Sikoa? That'd be crazy. What if I
Scary Movie. Sorry. Doofy is the name of the brother cop from Scary Movie.
Okay.
Doofy.
Well, there you go. Yeah. He was kind of a doofus tonight, man.
Yeah, I see that.
And for so long, like the idea was, I don't know, I kind of feel like the approach to Solo Sikoa is just not playing out right. The entire approach.
Yeah.
It's like for the longest time, he looked down on Roman. It's like every time Roman would show his vulnerabilities, Solo would look at him and he'd look down on him. And it's like, okay, he's going to be the guy who doesn't adhere to any code or to any ethics. At least Roman adhered kind of to his own code.
Yeah.
There was a reason behind what he did. He thought it was the benefit for his family. If the idea is Solo wants that for his own sole benefit, like he was the scary one. And now he just doesn't come off like that. And
he's not scary. He also lost 34 matches in a row.
Yeah, if you're going to lay that groundwork, if you're going to do the cinema route, you got to write the script a little bit better in the meantime. Exactly. 34 losses in a row ain't going to cut it, dude.
No.
So, yeah.
Let's just jump into it. We can talk about more as it comes up on the show. Show opened up with Cody Rhodes dropping a promo. Of course, he introduces it as he always does. So, Edmonton, what do we want to talk about? Puts over the size of the crowd, talks about Bash in Berlin, and is like, I could talk more, but I want to extend an invitation to the Bloodline. This brings out the Bloodline. Solo tells everybody else to stay ringside. He gets in the ring, and Solo just says, hey, stop running your mouth. I had you beat at SummerSlam. If it wasn't for Roman, I deserve a rematch. And that's when Cody says, yes, season premiere next week. There should be a title match. You, a formidable athlete. Number one contender in my book. You who stepped outside the shadow of the tribal chief. You deserve a WWE title match. I'm not talking to you, to Solo. I'm talking to you, Jacob Fatu. Step up. So that's when Jacob gets on the apron.
By the way, quick correction. Roman was there when he said, I don't care about the tribal chief. Yeah. There was another moment, though. There was another moment that Jay overstepped and Roman wasn't even there. And people were like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Thought it was that one. It was a different one, though.
Yeah. So Jacob gets on the apron. Seems like he wants to get in. Hesitates. Eventually says, I love you, Solo. You're my tribal chief. Drops back down the floor. And Cody says, well, I guess it was worth a shot. He says, but Solo, you believe you deserve a rematch. You think because you have the Ulafala, the bloodline revolves around you, but WWE revolves around this WWE title. Maybe one day I'll be looking up at the lights because of that iron thumb of yours, but it isn't going to be next week. So Solo says, I see what you're trying to do. Turn my enforcer against me. You want me next week? You got it. But why wait till next week? So the bloodline gets in the ring. Street Profits, DIY, they slide in. All disappears out of nowhere. Tells them all to simmer down. Says, we know that bloodline, DIY, Street Profits, y'all want to tear each other apart. You get that opportunity tonight's main event next week. Cody versus Solo, Steel Cage.
Did you notice Ciampa picking up that WWE title?
That what?
They slid in, and Ciampa, the WWE title was in his way, and he sort of picked it up. And then, like, Cody looked back, And then the camera cut away, and it cut back, and Cody had the title.
Ciampa wasn't supposed to do that.
It didn't mean shit. I just thought it was funny.
It is funny.
Or maybe it does mean something.
Maybe it does.
Anyways. Yeah, after that, we had Pretty Deadly and Tiffany Stratton backstage. Pretty Deadly's talking up the SmackDown premiere on USA next week. They have a premiere for Pretty Deadly, the musical, but Nia steps in. She says, the whole locker room was talking about how Tiffy was going to cash in on me. And Tiffy was like, no, I was only there to help you. She said, Chelsea's been spreading rumors because she's jealous of our friendship. And Tiffy's like, are you going to be in my corner tonight? And Nia's like, I don't know, maybe. She was like, maybe I'll help you the way you helped me last week.
Yeah. We got that match next, Bayley versus Tiffany Stratton. Solid bout.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, Bayley hits Bayley to belly. Slow to make the cover. Nia comes to ringside. Before that, that's when she hits the elbow drop off the top.
Mm-hmm.
So Bayley hits Bayley to belly, slow to cover. And when she gets up, instead of covering Tiffany, she hits Nia with a suicide dive.
Mm-hmm.
Gets back in the ring. Tiffany's looking for a backslide. But Nia gets on the apron and starts arguing with the ref. So the ref can't count the pinfall because Tiffany had Bayley in that backslide for like 5 or 6 seconds. The ref finally turns around, starts to count the pin. Bayley kicks out, hits a rose plant to get the win.
Yep. After that, Bayley's another one. They got to start doing like she never.
Her title reign was not terribly memorable because the creative was not.
They just didn't
really
ever
good.
Do anything.
No, she didn't.
These wrestlers,
really
they gotta do stuff as characters.
They gotta be proactive.
You know who bizarrely they're doing a great job with? Mia Yim.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like
She's proactive.
She gets like little character bits. She's aggressive. She's like you said, proactive. What a great buzzword. She like does stuff. She's like a character who talks.
Yeah. With
Bayley never does shit.
No.
Anyways, she got the win here, which is good.
She got the win, yeah. She'll have a rematch against Nia at some point. I don't know if she'll get the title back. So then we got Kevin Owens.
Interesting. Yeah, probably not.
Kevin Owens is backstage in gosh, what's the arena called? Rogers Place Center? I don't know, but it's in Edmonton. So he's reading this thing on the wall backstage about Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, right.
Those 80s Oilers teams who were destroying everybody, beating them like 15-2.
Yeesh.
So Waller and Theory step in. They just talk a bunch of shit to Kevin Owens. Owens calls them idiots, morons. Says, don't worry about me and Cody. We're fine. Just like you guys, right? Great friends, a great team, just like the Oilers. Just like I got in the ring with Cody, why don't you guys get in the ring against each other? Better yet, all three of us. I'm going to go talk to Nick Aldis right now. And so Waller's holding this Edmonton Oilers WWE, they call them legacy titles, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Snatches it, says, I'm keeping this. And walks out. So Waller says to Theory, we're going to be fine during this match, right? And Theory goes, yeah, we'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. After that, we've got Legato in the restaurant. Angel Humberto, Los Garza, like Steven Larson, Los Friendo.
Yes.
Because it's a proper
Friendo
noun.
would be a proper noun,
Proper
right?
noun,
yes.
Yeah. They're talking about, they're super excited. They got that win last week, a huge win over Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. They're like, everything went perfect. And Santos, bummer, walks in, says, why are you guys excited? And Berto's like, Santos, we won last week. Everything went perfect. And Santos like, oh yeah? Is there a title on the line? No. He's like, don't be shocked by success. Victory is not what we obtain. It's a part of who we are. And I'm like, no, it's not. He says, we make our success. It's there for ours to take. And then Angel and Berto are like, yeah, it's our time. And Lopez like, yeah, it's all coming together. I'm like, one lousy shit win.
No.
And Santos like, yeah, it's going to belong to me y mi familia. And then they all toast with whatever they've got in their glasses.
Yeah, whatever they're drinking.
He's like, delicioso agua.
And then we had
water.
Just water. And then we had Giovanni Vinci taking on Apollo Crews. We went through this at the beginning of the show. Vinci takes his time getting to the ring, making his entrance. No freeze frames, no snapshots, unfortunately.
Corey used a great word during his entrance, by the way. Bespoke.
Yeah. Bespoke.
Do you have anything bespoke, Larson?
No, I have nothing that's custom made. No. Not in terms of clothing, no.
Oh, well, we got the big red back there. That's a bespoke championship title.
It is a bespoke championship title. That's true. So he's taken off. Vinci's taken off his bespoke jacket that matches his sweatpants, that matches his shoes.
And his shoes.
Yeah. And then with his back to Cruz, taking off his jacket, ref calls for the bell. Cruz rolls him up within 3 or 4 seconds to get the win.
Yeah.
I think
good
Vinci
for
has
Cruz.
a strong case to file a formal complaint against that referee.
Yeah, that ref is a real son of a bitch. Yeah, that was wrong. You don't do that. Come on, This is his big debut.
No.
Anyways, after that, we have Chelsea and Piper talking to Nick Aldis. Chelsea's whining about Julia attacking her on NXT. Mia Yim steps in. They're talking shit back and forth. Mia challenges to a match, and Chelsea's trying to back out of it. And then
he
Aldis,
says there's not enough red wine and essential oils around to get me ready for this match.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
She's like, this is appropriate. You ended up in a trash can because that's where trash belongs. What a burn. Anyways, Aldis is like, oh, get back on that horse. And then he books the match for tonight.
Yep. Then we had Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory versus Grayson Waller. This match was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. It was just Kevin Owens trying to manipulate these two guys.
Yeah, and then try to fend them off when they would work together. He eventually does get the win. Hits Theory with the stunner to get the W. So I guess he's not going to be the prize fighter since he won with the stunner. And not a pop-up powerbomb.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But after the match, there's one point where Theory hits the rolling blockbuster, and then Waller goes in for the cover, and Theory's upset. Pulls him off the pin. They argue a little bit. And Corey Graves made the case, hey, you win, you get the winner's purse. You get more money.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I got to do a snapping thing on my dog. Hey.
All right, very well. I think they had the opposite of the intended effect.
She talked back to me. Look at that dumb face back there. I love her so much, but my goodness, she's annoying.
So then Waller attacks Owens after the match. Owens throws him out of the ring, but then Theory hits Owens with a forearm, A-Town down, and then Waller follows with a rolling flatliner. They lay out Kevin Owens, and then they celebrate together. Friends again.
He bizarrely brought them closer instead of
Seemingly.
doing what he wanted to do, which was drive a
Wedges.
wedge between them. Yeah. And then it was announced later on that, a mystery partner.
Oh, it's going to be Randy Orton, Steve. Come on.
Mystery partner. Who is this mystery partner going to be, Larson?
I don't know. Voices in my head are telling me.
Like, come on, man. Give us an NXT call.
Give
us something
I
fun.
understand.
You think Owens is going to turn on Orton?
Probably not.
No reason to whatsoever.
No, there's no reason to.
They're going to there wasn't a lot of advancement on the whole cow. I thought Kevin Owens and Cody were going to revisit some shit.
No, I mean, Owens is using the stunner again for his finish. Now it suddenly one of them will pin somebody. Whatever illusions we had, the prize fighter, making a return, gone.
Triple H starting to book based off his whims when he wakes up in the morning. Is he realizing that's the only way to do it? It's like Tony Khan's realized you need 27 writers in the room in order to book.
Well, I think
weekly
Triple H does
television.
have 27 writers in the room.
No, I know, but now he's going further. He's like, oh yeah, no matter what you do, you always end up just going by your whims in the middle of the night. He wakes up, he's like, hey Kevin, I got bad news, or I got news. Why'd you just call it bad news? That's not bad news. It's good news. You're gonna stay a good guy. You get all that merch, buddy. Not a bad guy. Oh, but I'm bored. I want to be a bad guy. We need bad guys. Yeah, it's gonna be Randy. Can't both be bad guys.
But Randy doesn't want to be a bad guy.
Randy doesn't want to be a bad guy. People aren't going to boo him.
Then we had Andrade, Carmelo Hayes video package hyping up their series of matches tied 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Cole and Graves thank Fox for 5 years of SmackDown. They have the highlight package that's 90% 2023 or 2022 and after, and like 1%.
Yeah, and on top of that, this was like a 3-minute video package.
It was
this
very
was
short.
Not long at all.
They should have made this a clip show episode.
I know, man. I agree. And then advertise it as such, so we
SmackDown
could have taken
Fox.
the night off. Yeah, that'd been great.
Exactly. And then, LA Knight comes to the ring for a promo. He just talks about his title defenses so far. He's interrupted by Carmelo Hayes. He says, you're really bragging about 2 title defenses. Anybody should be bragging. It's me, match the night, stealing the show. What have you been doing? What you always do, run your mouth. He says, I beat Andrade twice in a row. I'm next for the U.S. title. So LA Knight says, while you're worrying about having the best match of the night, I'm worried about winning, which is why I'm champ, and you're not. Yeah. So Andrade comes out and says, Melo, take it easy. Tranquilo. I know you beat me twice, but remember, I also beat you twice. And Melo's like, no one remembers that you beat me twice. Andrade says, no, I remember and everyone remembers. Question for you. You think you deserve a chance at the U.S. title? I think I deserve it. And Knight's like, I'm busy. If you two want to fight, determine who loses to me. That's fine. And Andrade says, the title was mine. And Knight says, yes, was. And then Andrade talks a bunch of crap in Spanish.
This next line was great. LA Knight says, I don't know what you just said, but you better check your tone or I'm going to drop you on your keister.
Yeah.
This was, and then Andrade just illustrated why he's one of the fucking best. Even in an immaculate suit like he was wearing, that big boot of his is so much fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
God, this dude's matches are just so great. I would love for him to be a U.S. champion. I really would. Seems like we're probably going to get a triple threat between these guys. Apparently, they don't want either Carmelo or Andrade getting one up on each other. So
no, they're having the rubber match next week.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So
that's cool. That'll be a good one.
I mean, it could have a long finish, and it could be a triple threat, or I guess next week's match, if there's a finish, is de facto match for number one contender for the U.S. title.
I kind of feel like what I just said we're going to apply to next week. Because a wonk finish seems like it might be likely. These guys are like right even Steven, just do it at a triple threat.
Exactly. So the segment ends with Knight dropping both Andrade and Melo with BFTs. We get Waller and Theory backstage. They're really hyping each other up. They walk up to Aldist, and Waller says, hey, put us in a tag match against Kevin Owens and whoever he could find, Randy Orton.
Maggie gifted 5 memberships to the community. Thank you very much, Maggie. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Maggie.
That's so nice. After that, we had Chelsea Green versus Mia Yim. Chelsea ended up getting the win here, largely thanks to Mia Yim took like a nasty spill to the outside on this in this match. It was great. She's so good. She's killing it these days.
One great match after another.
She really is.
She's getting TV time to showcase what a great wrestler she is.
So her loss basically boiled down to Piper hitting Mia with a senton on the outside as Chelsea is distracting the ref. Gets her back in. Chelsea hits an I'm prettier to get the win here. So good win for Chelsea Green, too. She does great work, too.
Oh, yeah.
After that, we had a DIY Street Profits interview. Because they're both tag teams, and they both want the same thing, tag team gold. And Saxon says, earlier you guys were all on the same page. And Gargano says, we're not family, we're not close, but there's respect here. Ford says, yeah, there's respect here. We all have issues with the Bloodline, but we all want the tag titles. We have a lot of similarities. And Ciampa says, last time Bloodline had tag titles, they had them forever. No one wants that to happen again. I'm afraid I got some bad news for you, Tom Ciampa. They're going to have them for a very long time.
Seems likely.
Yeah. And Street Profits were like, you guys just got here. We've been dealing with the Bloodline forever. And then just sort of petered out at that. And then Jacob Fatu single-handedly beat DIY and the Street Profits. Larson.
Essentially. It was a competitive match until Jacob Fatu decided the match had lasted long enough. And he basically single-handed. You got your favorite trope in all of wrestling, Steve.
Yeah.
Ring cut in half.
Yeah.
Competitor isolated for a good half of the match. In this case, Tom Ciampa.
Yeah.
Isolated by the Bloodline, eventually gets the hot tag.
Try this again. Hey,
but
stop. No. I'm gonna put you on your keister. You're gonna be out of here.
But instead, he got the hot tag to not one, but two of his teammates, Gargano and Dawkins. Reinventing the wheel.
Yeah, well, that's what I want. I want a little bit of innovation, perhaps. Be nice.
The refs seem powerless to do anything about it, too, or unwilling.
It was the last episode on Fox.
I guess.
They were all just, everybody was taking the night easy.
I guess so. So, yeah.
What do they call it? Quiet quitting?
Yes. Senioritis.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So, yeah, Jacob Fatu just eventually just lays out everybody. Tags in Solo. Solo hits 2 spikes on Montez to get the win for the Bloodline. Steve, put your ones up for your tribal chief.
Man. I put my ones up for one man.
Every time.
I put my ones up for one man.
Tribal chief.
You look at this. 1,316 days. Tribal chief, Roman, look at Roman over there. Look at him.
Oh, he's peeking out from behind the.
Look at him
the
peeking
belt
out
there.
right there. He's like,
hello,
oh,
Roman.
no.
Oh, no, he's gone. Where'd he go? Oh, there he
where
is.
am I?
Oh, no, where'd he go?
Peekaboo.
Oh, hi, Roman.
Where'd he
Where'd he
go?
go?
Where you at, Roman?
Oh.
I throw my ones up for the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. That's what I do. OTC, over the counter.
All right. I'm just saying.
Not gonna
Your
put it
tribal chief. You got to define that, Steve. I say your and not the.
The tribal
We know
chief.
your tribal chief is Roman Reigns. It's one established already. Oh, my goodness. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. So before we answer questions, we could ask a favor of the friendos out there. We need engagement on this episode and all our episodes. So that means comments.
It's my birthday. Give me some engagement.
Wish Steve a happy birthday. I've already done it 5 times today. I think I've reached my max. 6 times, actually. I've reached my max. But all the friendos out there who have yet to wish Steve a happy birthday, please do so in the comments. Several times, please. Also, hit the like button. Only do that once. Or at least an odd number of times. So it stays.
Don't overcomplicate it. You know, the wrestling fans. Just do it one time.
Do it one time.
They don't know the difference between odd and even, man. Come on now.
1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and so on.
Whoa, it's a lot of numbers.
13,
there's
15,
only
17, 19, 21, 23, 25.
There's only one number I care about. It's 1,
That's
3.
That's an even number, though.
1,
That's
6.
an even number.
It's an even number because it ends.
It's an even number, though, so that's going to make
6.
the like no like. So don't hit it 1,316 times. Either 1,315 or 1,317.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, thank you. Engagement helps the episode and the YouTube algorithm, or so I've heard. I don't really know. I'm not a smart man. I don't know much about all that, but we want our videos to do well and get in front of potentially new friendos. So hitting that like button, leaving a comment really helps. So thank you.
That'd be great. Nice comments. SOTB Tampa says, if WWE started putting jobbers in the Hall of Fame, who goes in first between these 3? Barry Horowitz, Brooklyn Brawler, or Gilbert? It's got to be the Brawler.
Yeah, I think for that spell, like in the early to late 90s, he was like wrestling's definitive enhancement talent.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Lonnie here asks, when are you going to upload the AEW review show on Patreon podcast feed? So, I did yesterday.
Oh, no.
But sometimes when I upload audio to Patreon, it just gets like in a processing loop.
Oh, wow.
And it just stays there. And
no.
I tried it twice yesterday. I deleted the post, did it again, stuck another processing loop. I didn't get an opportunity to address it today, or by that I mean I forgot.
Yeah.
So I'll get it done as soon as I can.
Okay. All right, cool. I wonder if I have
Lonnie also says, just to let you gentlemen know, Brian Alvarez has his star ratings out the same night as the show. How come this is just the first time I've heard of Brian Alvarez doing star ratings for matches?
Here's the thing.
I was never aware of this.
Here's the thing. Does anybody debate Brian Alvarez's star ratings on
This is literally the first time I've heard that Brian Alvarez has star ratings.
Right. Look. Here's the thing. If I was on a show with another person that was the definitive star ratings guy, I probably just wouldn't do star ratings because I'm on the same show with the guy. Now, you and I, we're a duo, right? Our Katras aligned.
There's the push and pull, the tension between our ratings. That's what's
exactly
different.
Yeah. So, when we say those other guys, that's one person. It's David Christopher Meltzer. Okay? One guy.
Yeah.
You say Brian Alvarez's star ratings, you might as well tell me Jabroni from down the street star ratings. Same deal, right? There's one guy. The other guy's Dave Meltzer.
Dave Meltzer. Sebastian Garcia says, I had no idea my birthday was one day after Steve's. Happy birthday. What was the best birthday you've had since starting Going in Raw?
Wow. Oh,
since 2014.
2014? I don't know.
Oh, we're almost the 10-year anniversary. That's later this month.
Holy shit.
Wow. End of this month, I believe.
End of September. It's like 26, isn't it?
Something around there, yeah.
Wow, we got to celebrate.
I guess.
Have some cake, marble cake with frozen whipped topping.
Oh, but of course.
And some coffee. Boy, oh boy. Best birthday I've had.
What did you do for your 40th birthday?
What is this? That would have been okay. Oh, okay. No, nothing memorable.
I didn't do anything for my 40th. I had a fun 41st birthday.
I know at some point since we started going in Raw, I think I went to a strip club around near my birthday. That was probably good. Probably had a good time there.
All right.
But, I don't know. Otherwise, man, once you hit after 12, they all just run into each other. After 12, none of them are special, So,
well, I don't know. Like your 21st is usually fairly memorable because you can legally drink alcohol.
Yeah, no, I was being jokey.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, like even 30 is like, yeah, after 20, you're right. After 21,
I remember some of them afterwards, like the milestone birthdays, 30th.
What
I
did
didn't
you
do
do
anything for my 40th, but my 41st I did something.
Oh, you did something cool with your third. Didn't you go to like a baseball or something like that?
Yeah, and a bunch of people came that I didn't know were going to be there.
Yeah, I wasn't invited to that.
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I didn't plan it, so.
You gotta go talk to your wife. Honey, remember 16, 17 years ago?
Someone takes issue.
It's just like, yeah, your partner's a son of a bitch.
We weren't even working together yet at that point.
You're right about that.
In fact, you might not. You were down to Southern California still.
Did you come to the SAC before I did?
No, but what year did you move back up here? 2008, right?
08.
Yeah, so that was the year before my 30th birthday.
Yeah, I don't know.
So probably the reason you didn't get the invite because you were living in Southern California.
Where were you?
I was also living in Southern California, but we made the trip up.
Oh, you came up here.
Yes.
Maybe I could have come up here. I have a car.
Yeah, I didn't plan it, so.
You're just throwing your wife under the bus. Nathan Spencer says, with the news of
how is being truthful throwing anybody on the bus? I didn't plan it. I didn't know who was invited because I didn't take part in inviting anybody.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good, man. I throw Lacey under the bus all the time.
I'll take you to a baseball
for
game
shit that she did not even do. I throw under the
Wow.
bus. Yeah, big time. That's what spouses are for. Nathan Spencer says, with the news of Paul White coming back, who would you pair him with to have a lasting Esker run?
Lance Archer. Have Paul and Lance Archer be a team.
Oh, man. The epic, the Sting-like career of Paul White. Look, Big Show had a great career. He had a great career.
He has. A young up-and-comer, Lance Archer.
Yes. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Lance will be his Darby Allin. That's good.
Clown here says, does Steve here feel any wiser now that you circled the sun another year? Happy birthday. Do you feel any wiser?
No, I feel stupider. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? I peaked. My intelligence peaked at like 32. After that, it was especially, and then COVID just, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Brain racked with COVID.
Yeah.
For the 2 or 3 times that I had it.
I actually feel like my intellectual peak was probably when I was in junior college in some respects.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Remember the papers we used to write? They were really good.
They're good.
I went back and I watched some. I looked at some of my high school papers, and I'm like, I couldn't write this today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could barely write a sentence today.
Yeah. You could argue our 10 for the win days. We would write a lot. We would write a lot of scripts, and we would improv a lot. We were super sharp.
I think as performers, that was arguably our peak.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because I think like we'd still be comfortable improvising. Now it's like I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think that's true. I think if you and I got back in the saddle on doing that kind of shit, we would probably be super sharp.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. But no, I feel you.
That repetition exercise when you study Meisner. You stand across from the other person. Just do repetition.
Maybe that's what we need. Let's just go take some acting classes.
All right, let's do it now. Look at me.
Dude, I got to look at the camera.
You got to do what I do.
Okay. Is this what they do in acting class?
Yeah. Until it elicits an emotional response, and then you go from there.
What a waste of money. You just gasping? That's supposed to elicit an emotional response?
I'm not even gasping, just opening my mouth.
Yeah, it just looks like you look like a ventriloquist doll.
No, I'm a fisherman.
Reagan says, as there are more than one royal family in wrestling, power rank the royal families of wrestling. Oh, wow. Power rank the royal families
Well, on
of
Hawaii
wrestling.
family's got to be number one.
On Hawaii, number one. What about the Colognes?
It'd be probably top 10.
They own Puerto Rico wrestling.
Yeah. I mean, you got to have the Hearts.
The Hearts are up there.
They're pretty high up.
The Rhodes.
Rhodes, yeah. The Ortons. Yeah. 3 generations of Ortons have wrestled.
Yeah, the Ortonses. The Von Erichs.
Von Erichs, yeah.
They're probably down really low because it's bummer deal.
Who else? Sure. The Vern and Greg Gagne.
Yeah. Didn't Vern kill a guy?
He hurt somebody really bad, I believe.
In the old folks' home, right? Didn't he kill him?
Maybe.
On accident.
Nursing is a nursing home.
Yeah. Yeesh. Yeah, there's a lot of, and then somebody here mentions the McMahons. There's a lot of just bad stuff going on in wrestling.
Yeah.
The on Hawaii seems super cool though.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like them and the Rhodes. I think we're good. The Hearts, but man, the stuff about Stu in that dungeon, that seemed bad.
Yeah, I know.
Stretching people like that.
I know. Timor here asks, if you're doing a diss track video against the other, which main roster wrestlers would you want with you in the video?
Wow.
All the main roster wrestlers that Steve at one point had beef with. Didn't like them.
Sheamus. I love Sheamus now, but I went through an anti-Sheamus phase.
Probably
who else? Baron Corbin?
Yeah.
Well, we've always liked Baron. We've always appreciated what he brought to the equation.
I don't know. We heard his tepid shit talk to Apollo Crews in that takeover match. We're like, what the heck is this guy doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we've always wanted the best for Baron.
Miz.
Never been a Miz guy.
Maggie says, I'm going to drop a diss track on Steve, but I'm going to hire a ghostwriter.
Just do AI. Do like an AI, like a Motown AI track that's like Steve shit his pants.
There you go.
It'd probably be hilarious.
It'd be fantastic.
Rey Mysterio. Because he's a terrible father.
Oh. Well, that's storyline.
Heel Harrison, who had the best shooting star press? I'll tell you who had the worst one, Billy Kidman.
Yeah. You seen that one he gave to Chavo and kneed him right in the face, right?
Yeah, I think they said he had a brain bleed because of it.
Yeah.
Yowza.
Messed up.
Yeah, that wasn't good. Who had the best
shooting
one?
star press? Probably Ricochet, man.
Brock Lesnar.
He gets super high on his.
Brock Lesnar landed on his head. Seems like more people had bad ones than good ones.
It seems like a difficult move to pull off.
Yeah, it's horrible. Ricochet for sure, absolutely.
Yeah, Ricochet is best. Disc Golfing Goon says, what do you guys think will be the biggest surprise for each show next week? Could be anything from returns to title changes. Thanks for all you do and happy as a birthday, Steve. I mean, Roman's coming back, but I think he's advertised. I don't know if there's been any huge surprises. I think it's just kind of like business as usual.
Oh, I think they're going to pick it up. I think they've been holding on to this awesome script for the debut of SmackDown.
Is Dwayne going to show up?
Dwayne, yeah, sure. Yeah, he should. Like, come on, man. You're the director of the board. Show up once in a while.
On the board of directors. It's different.
Maggie says she's going to fight me over Billy Kidman. You need to watch Billy Kidman moonsault on Chavo Guerrero. Yeah. You'll be like, oh, never mind. I lay down my arms.
Yeah.
AJ Otani says, I saw this question over Wrestle Juice, but I didn't answer it. He says, Steve, you ever thought about making art content like redesigning jerseys or logos? Nah, not really. Because here's the thing. It won't, I hate saying this, but it's the truth. It won't do that well, And it's like, I was drawing the other day. I actually drew my Bama, my kid, for my birthday. She's been really big into designing characters. Like, she just comes up with characters. Like, she's really big into sort of like the horror genre. So she comes out like, it's really cool. Like, she had one character called like the Face Stealer. It was really creepy. Like, it was a person who was like holding a face.
Oh, wow.
And so I go into my iPad and I like make my own version of that. And so she dropped one on me this morning. She was like, hey, and it was like on this nice little, woodcut thing. Yeah. And it was a new drawing of a new character she made. And so today while she was at school, I got on my iPad and I like redrew the character kind of in cartoon style. So she came home and then she colored over it,
cool.
The colors that she wanted it. That's where I sort of focus and then on our own stuff. But like, doing content where I'm redesigning other people's logos, I don't even think I'm that good, to be honest with you. So I wouldn't even feel comfortable trying to make something better than it already is. So I think at one point I did on WrestleJuice, somebody's shirt had like some really muted colors, and I was like, man, this thing needs to pop more. And so I just hopped into Photoshop and I did a screen cap of me fixing it. I could see myself doing that again, maybe.
Yeah.
Tristan says, if WWE introduced a women's mid-card title, who do you think should hold it for first?
Mia Yim.
Yeah. Damon Harden says, how influential do you think the WCW Cruiserweight division is to modern wrestling? What a great question.
Oh, I think enormously. I crap on Bischoff a lot, but bringing the cruiserweights on to WCW, I mean, that was eye-opening for me as a wrestling fan who didn't see a lot of that style of wrestling on WTV in the 80s and early 90s when I was watching. So no, that was huge. That was enormous. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Let's see here. Enzo says, will Sami Zayn ever be a world champion in WWE?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm going to say... You know what? I'll say this. The length of Gunther's title reign will say a lot about other people getting it. Because if they do a bunch of like 5-month title reigns, then I think it's very possible.
It's possible, yeah. But Sammy's not beating Gunther at Bad Blood, though. It's not happening.
I am aware. You don't have to point that one out. Here we go. John and Alistair voice.
John.
Being one of the top wrestling podcasts with no actual wrestling talent, you should just take out wrestling.
Yeah, still be apropos. At least for me.
With no actual talent. He says, if there was a battle royal involving you and the other top podcasts of that ilk, how do you secure the dub for going in Raw?
We disguise Cal Jack as one of us.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's good. Or just have him on the outside catching us every. Well, number one, I'm hard to throw. So are you. You bulked up. Yeah, I kind of feel like you're hard to throw. Who's going to throw us out?
People who want to win?
No, but what other podcasters
who has
are
the
able
physical
to?
ability to do so? I don't know.
Other podcasts with no talent. Yeah.
JD
ain't throwing me nowhere. I'll throw his ass out the ring.
Pulse used to lift a lot.
Yeah.
Like he was throwing around heavyweight.
Yeah. Oh, Deadlock might team up on us.
It's true.
Hey, you know what though? Hey, hold on a second.
Actual wrestler.
Here's the thing though. I think Pulse has had a match or two. Wasn't he like gonna wrestle or something?
Maybe.
Doesn't that disqualify them then?
Is that one of the caveats in the question, or is that one you're adding to it?
Well, no, podcast without wrestling talent.
Oh, so if you exhibited some scintilla of wrestling talent, wrestling ring, then you were disqualified? All
right, yeah. Yeah. I feel like we can take out the Brits. I think we could take out the Brits, unless it's on their home soil. What's that?
GD's very tall.
Yeah, he's tall, but you know what they say, the taller they are, the easier it might be to throw them out, maybe?
The harder they fall, yeah.
Yeah, the harder they fall.
Yeah.
Out of the ring. So I don't know. I feel good about us, man. I think we'll do fine.
All right.
I think we'll do fine. All right. Well, that's going to do it for the show today. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. And hopefully you'll join us tomorrow for the all-out watch party.
Yeah.
Till next time, we'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.